Okay, so to start with this soup, sandwich, and salad lunch that I'm making my husband today, I'm going to start with the cucumber salad that's going into this. I've already peeled two mini cucumbers, and I'm just going to give them a rough chop. Let's put this here. I'm going to add my cucumber to the bowl. I'm going in with some onion. You could use red onion. I had some sweet onion. 1 Roma tomato that I just chopped. Going in with a little bit of fresh parsley. And now I'm going to show you how I make the vinaigrette for this. This is what I'm going to dress the salad in. So I'm going to use my favorite Dijon mustard. I guess this would be like a teaspoon. Yeah. Let's do that. I'm going to go in with just a smidge of garlic paste. Literally just like a little drop there, a little dab. Some cracked black pepper. Pinch of salt. Like a splash of red wine vinegar. And you'll have to adjust the ratios, just a little more salt. And I'll go with some olive oil, like a tablespoon. You just want to shake it up. And this is what I'm going to dress the little salad in. It's like a really bright, fresh, tangy vinaigrette. And you could add a pinch of sugar to this to kind of balance the vinegar, but I think this will be fine. I'm going to actually just kind of... perfect. Yeah, it's really good. So now I'll go in with your dressing. And just mix everything together. And I'm going to add some queso fresco, which I always have in my fridge. And then that's the salad. And this is something I make all the time. I don't know why I love making cucumber salads because of the texture, the crunch, along with like soup and sandwiches. It just, I don't know, it's a thing that I do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this is a little container I'm gonna put the salad in. I think that'll all fit. Yay, it did. Okay. So there's the salad part of this lunch. Little extra tomato there. Very fresh, crunchy, cool texture. I love it. Okay. Okay, so for the lunch meat and the sandwich portion of this lunch, I am going to air fry 2 marinated chicken breasts. I will link the recipe video below, but this is a honey mustard, chipotle honey mustard chicken marinade that I love to marinate chicken breast in. And I'm going to cook this and slice it into thin slices for lunch meat. You can actually use your own lunch meat, but this is what I'm going to opt for today. And it's so flavorful. So anyways, I'm going to cook this in the air fryer until it is completely cooked through. These are actually kind of cold. I didn't have a chance to take the chill off, so the cook time is going to vary. I would say maybe because it's cold, I'll try 4 to 5 minutes on each side and then let it rest. Okay, so I'm gonna go 400. Let's do 5 minutes on the first side, and then I'll flip it in another 5 minutes. My chicken is taking longer than anticipated, so like I stated earlier, just be sure to check the internal temperature to make sure that it's cooked through 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And let it rest before you cut it. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely done. And, I know I shouldn't poke this, but I'm gonna put it on my baking sheet there. And now I'm going to let it rest. This cooked close to 15 minutes because there's like such a thick piece here. But I'm definitely gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes. And I'm just gonna cover it with another baking sheet or loosely foil it. And that'll just help it to keep moist. You don't wanna cut it right away. Okay, so This has rested for about 15 minutes. It's still actually, you know, warm to the touch here. But I'm just gonna slice this into thin slices. But I wanna show you, look, it's still hot internally on the thickest part, but look how juicy this is. I marinated this overnight, and you really gotta try this chipotle honey mustard marinade. It's so good. My piece. So good. Okay. So I'm just going to slice into the chicken and just do a whole bunch of like thin slices. So good. Okay. So here I have a little bit of Dijon mustard. I'm going to add some cracked black pepper. I like this mayo. I'm not really measuring. Maybe equal parts, maybe a little more of one of the ingredients. And you know what? Because I have I have some, just a little parsley going in there. Okay, give it a mix. And this is my this is what I'm going to dress the sandwich in. This is the sandwich spread I came up with today. It's very simple. Sometimes I like to do this the night before and let it set with a little bit of shallot, minced shallot into the mix. It's really good. Okay, so that's the sandwich spread. I'm just going with a simple white bread. And this sandwich has a lot of flavor, but not a lot of ingredients. Sometimes I like to add fresh cucumber, red onion, tomato, just a lot of fresh ingredients. Sometimes I do sprouts or microgreens onto a sandwich, but I have a lot of things going on today with this lunch, so a simple flavorful sandwich is what is gonna my husband's gonna get today. And he does like it when I add a little extra of the sandwich spread. On with, the cheese today is baby Swiss cheese because I have it, and I'm going with some just pieces of lettuce. I'm trying to make it kind of like, you know, to fit on this sandwich here. And now I'm going to go with tender pieces. I'll tell you what, we'll go like that. Tender pieces of this chipotle honey mustard chicken. And when I tell you this goes great on salad, sandwiches, I'm actually going to make a Lunchable for my son later with this. He loves it when I do that. Okay. I love this chicken. Okay. And I always like to add pepper to my sandwiches. I'll do it to here. Close up the sandwich, and there we go. I'm going to wrap that up. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I hope it'll fit into this little bento box, like, it's not a bento box, but it's like a lunch container. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to cut it. So here's what the container I put it in, and it does fit, but there's a little extra space. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, slice up some baby carrots. Oh yeah, this is going to fit. Perfect. There we go. Nice. Okay, so for the soup, I'm going to go with Estrellas, sopa de estrellas. That's the soup that I'm working with today. So I've been preheating my pot here, and I have a little bit of cooking oil. And this is a 7-ounce bag. Right in. Toast the little pasta stars. And I'm making this exactly how I make a sopa de fideo. It's going to have the same flavor profile, and it's so good as a quick and simple soup to go along with a sandwich and a salad. Okay, so, well, let's look here. You can see that I have toasted this. You don't really want to burn it. I had to lower the heat, but you want to constantly keep it moving. And you can see how it's, you know, the little stars are toasty. Okay, so I'm going to go in with fresh onion and let that cook a little bit. That'll flavor the pot, the oil, and just be very aromatic in this. Okay, so I'm gonna add my seasonings, well, some of my spices here. Going in with some ground cumin. The amount is up to you. Go with like a 1/4 teaspoon, start there. Going with like a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna give that a mix. It'll just warm the dry spices. I'm also going to add, I'm gonna start with like a tablespoon of my chicken bouillon powder. I like to add it first because it kind of separates it and breaks it apart. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with, I'll go with the whole thing. This was like an 8 to 9 ounce container of crushed tomatoes. A can of tomato sauce is typically what I use. I just had crushed tomatoes to use today. And I like to cook that a little bit before adding my water. Try not to get it too steamy for you guys. Okay. I'm going to crank up the heat a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of simmering and bubbling there. So now I'm going to add my water. I'm working with a smaller burner, so it's not really giving you that sizzle. But yeah, so that was 4 cups of water. I'm probably going to add another cup, like 5 to 6 cups of water to make this soupy. I'm going to add a little more water. I'd say like another 1.5 cups. So 5.5 cups to 6 cups. And I think I'm going to add another 1/2 tablespoon of the chicken bouillon powder. Some cracked black pepper. I'm running out of peppercorns in this thing. And here I also have leftover chopped parsley. It's going in. It's the chopped parsley that keeps on giving in this entire lunch. So bring this up to a simmer. I'm going to cover it with a lid, and you're just going to let it cook. Come to a simmer, boil, lower the heat, and let it cook for about 12 minutes or so. Okay, so I went ahead and let this kind of like boil and simmer for it's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna carefully remove this lid here. Because these little pasta stars, they're little, it's not gonna take tons of time to cook them through, so 10 minutes worked. Okay, so this is, I mean, you know, I like to make these little sopitas and have, you know, cheese quesadillas on the side. It's kind of like my version of tomato soup and grilled cheese. It's so good. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a thermos and pack up my husband's lunch. There we go, that should be enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to carefully, hopefully the pasta will go in. There it goes. Okay, so now I'm just gonna enclose it. This is actually for drinks, hot or cool drinks, but I mean, it works for soup. Typically the soup thermoses have like a wider mouth. And then this is ready for his lunch. Okay, so here I had these in the fridge while I was making the soup, but I'm gonna show you my husband's lunch before I pack it up. And I'm not even gonna pack it up super fancy. It goes in its little bag, and I have another tote bag that everything's gonna go in, but check this out. I've got my sandwich, carrots, fresh cucumber salad, and then I have his soup. You know what? I'm gonna have to repack this, but I wanna show you guys. So, okay, so let's take a look at the lunch. I went ahead and like set it up so you could see. And here's the cucumber salad that I made earlier, the very delicious, simple, flavorful chicken sandwich, some fresh carrot. Here's the sopita soup, the star sopita or sopita de estrellas. I also like to add his favorite dark chocolate candies with an orange and, you know, sparkling carbonated mineral water. And that's his lunch today. So, you know, you guys might find that helpful or get some ideas for your own lunch. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.